Not sure about you, but I love survival games, especially with zombies. So far, I think that Infection Free Zone is the best real-time, survival, tactical, strategic game with zombies. Let's talk about each of those definitions one by one.
This is the Infection Free Zone. Please respond.
Let's start with the basics. So this is a single-player survival, but it's not just that you start with default items and just develop. Here it's kind of different from others. First of all, you have more options to adjust the desired difficulty level. Basically, you can have tons of resources, but also swarms of zombies attacking you. Or quite peaceful time without zombies and having lots of people and resources in case you'd like to just be in, let's say, creative mode. All of that can be applied in huge city areas, and this is the main thing that makes this game real and unique. Here you have not just preloaded ready maps to play on. Well, you do have those as well, but they're not just created as a part of level design. And this is the most mind-blowing thing I'm gonna tell you now. All locations that you can play are real areas, literally. You can just find your hometown and start the game there. If you have petrol stations there, they will be in the game, so you can search for the gas. The same for grocery stores, libraries and all other houses. Yes, I've tried that with my region. Indeed, everything's there. When it comes to survival, you have tons of options on how to do this. Here I'm talking about resources, research and base building. You can choose whatever strategy you like. If you want to be a farmer, just research proper technology and have a full cycle of food production. Or you can just send squads for loot. But everything is not as simple as it may seem. Your main resource will be people. You can build a huge base with all facilities, but if you don't have enough people or not enough guards in towers, you probably won't survive long. Along with simple storage for basic materials and food, you have to take care of your people. First of all, make sure that everyone has a place to sleep. Then you can increase comfort. The better morale, the more effective workers you get. When it comes to the people, here we also have lots of things going on. First of all, overall base mood level. If we lose at least one person, during some times people will be grieving, so the efficiency of work will be much lower. And the opposite, good events will improve morale. Along with that, we can upgrade our scavengers separately. The more they out there in the field looting and fighting, the more perks they will receive as their rank grows. With updates, developers also added different types of armor for your troops as well. Another advanced feature in this game is seasons, weather and day and night change. Yes, those will have a huge impact on the gameplay. At night, the vision of course is limited, and in winter our fields won't produce food. Also, if it's raining hard, the infected will be able to come out during the daytime as well. Luckily, we will be able to skip hard times easily as the game has a fast forward option. Tired of waiting a long night? Just press F3 by default and increase game time speed 3 times. This feature becomes really useful once we learn how to use the orders queue together. We can just schedule every step of our scavengers, speed up the time, and they will loot several houses very fast. As it should be, the infected free zone can be safe only if we are prepared. This means that we have to rebuild the nation. Basically, everything is pretty standard here. Research center, kitchen, barn, fields, antenna, weaponry, and so on. But what is uncommon is that we don't actually build anything. It's not Middle Ages, as in Manor Lords, so all buildings are ready. We just need to adapt them. Depending on the building size, it requires a specific amount of resources. But also, the bigger the building is, the better service it will provide. Huge skyscrapers will have practically indefinite storage space for materials. Or if we decide to make it a kitchen, we can have dozens of people working there, so food production will be just like at some factory. Of course, to have options to build everything, we will have to research proper technology first. We can choose whatever we want first, depending on our gaming style. The game offers very good difficulty level settings. Personally, I recommend setting the maximum amount of zombies. It makes the game more realistic, especially in urban areas. Also, we will have more variety of creatures we have to deal with. Developers have big plans for this instance. So, horde size is not a big issue, but it's a big problem if our scavengers don't have a car and wild dogs find them. Then just drop everything and run towards the nearest building. But not every building will be a cover for our people. Regular zombies can enter empty buildings regardless if hunters are there too, unless it's a part of the base, so it's reinforced. Yes, our base structures can have different amounts of strength as well. So do zombies, it's really hard to kill juggernauts. Situation may change if we have transport. Squads can shoot from inside or just run over infected. The higher their skills, the better they can do this. But let's not forget that any vehicle also has its own health and needs to be tanked with fuel. During our normal survival, don't forget that the infection-free zone is not an empty, wild and forgotten place. Here, we will encounter lots of people, allies and enemies. Also, there are lots of story missions. The longer we play, the more we have to discover. For example, I didn't expect that some military guys would try to rob me. Sure, first they asked nicely, but I refused to provide resources as I didn't have much myself. And yes, in dialogues we have conversation options, so it is we who decide what society we want to build. I think it's really cool. This game is still in the early access stage. The roadmap that developers have is quite extensive. I've been observing the progress since the release, but I must say that they are not in a hurry to complete this path. Still, the game is fully playable and has lots of side quests, which keeps the gameplay more interactive. It feels more alive when you have some events happening. The more you develop your society, the more alive the map will be. So at this point, it's not just a simple survival without the goal, but truly a simulator of reviving society. And be sure that here you will have not only allies, and you won't be a superior group. Personally, I enjoyed spending time surviving in my neighborhood. The game has nice visuals, really good dialogues, interesting missions, extensive tools and huge areas to discover. All those features create almost a perfect survival game, and I think with further development it will become such. Developers post an updated roadmap regularly, so it's definitely worth at least keeping an eye on this game. If you'll have a chance to grab it on some sale, don't hesitate at all. Once you have it, you will have complete freedom with creating your own society and trying everything. Even after a month, I came back to playing this game and it's still interesting, so definitely worth the coin. In my opinion, it's a huge amount of work done for such a small game. I hope this info will come in handy. Thank you for spending time with me. See you soon.